Ever wondered about the chilling mysteries that can leave even the sharpest minds stumped? Unsolved murders hold secrets buried beneath puzzling clues and eerie circumstances, cases where logic seems to falter. These haunting stories continue to baffle experts and linger as reminders of lives lost and justice still waiting. Number 1. The case of Barry Rubery. Barry Rubery's story is a chilling one, and it remains a haunting mystery to this day. Born on August 16, 1941, Barry was well known in the Gloucestershire, England community as a retired civil engineer and farm laborer, and he was an active member of the local Masons. At 68, he was a father, a grandfather, and someone people genuinely respected. But in April of 2010, his life was taken in a way that no one saw coming. On the night of April 28th, Barry attended a dinner at his Masonic lodge. His friends dropped him off at home around 10:45 p.m., but tragically, that would be the last time anyone saw him alive. The next morning, a friend came by Barry's house only to find him lying face down on his porch, dead. It was a horrifying scene. His hands and legs were tied with wire, electrical cords, and cables, and it was evident that he had been beaten. Investigators believe his assailants may have waited for him, knowing he typically entered through the back door. The autopsy revealed he'd suffered a fatal blow to the head, but signs of defensive injuries hinted at a fierce struggle in his backyard. Despite arrests in 2014, no one has been charged, and as of 2024, Barry Rubery's tragic case remains unsolved, leaving the community still seeking justice. Number 2. The case of Charles Mauk Jr. The story of Charles Chuckie Mauk Jr. is one of those heartbreaking mysteries that stays with you. Born on May 29, 1972, Chuckie was a bright, active 13-year-old known for his love for sports, especially baseball, and his impressive skills on his BMX bike. Living in Warner Robins, Georgia, Chuckie spent a lot of time at the Freedom Lanes bowling alley near his home, where he enjoyed playing classic arcade games like Pac-Man and Space Invaders. People described him as a friendly, outgoing kid who was always up for an adventure. But tragically, his life was cut short on February 17, 1986, in a way that no one could have predicted. On that February evening, Chuckie was out with friends riding his bike around the neighborhood. Around 8 p.m., he popped into a nearby grocery store to grab a pack of bubblegum for school the next day. Just 15 minutes later, as he was riding back home, something terrible happened. Chuckie was shot in the back of his head by an unknown person, leaving him lifeless on the ground near Roy and Rose's restaurant. A young girl nearby saw it happening and rushed to tell Chuckie's mom and stepfather, who ran to the scene only to find that their son was already gone. A friend, Chris Pandas, later shared that he had seen Chuckie talking and laughing with a man in a white two-door car just before the shooting. Chris thought nothing of it at the time, even as he saw Chuckie on the ground afterward, thinking he was just playing around. Chuckie's murder remains unsolved, leaving his family and community still searching for the answers. Number 3. The case of Jacqueline Elaine Nix. Elaine Nix's story is one that leaves a lasting chill, a mystery that has haunted her family and community for decades. Born on December 17, 1980, Elaine, known by her middle name, was an 18-year-old with a big personality and dreams of becoming a nurse. In 1999, she lived with her parents in Gainesville, Georgia, and he was dating Billy Millwood. Since his home was a long-distance call, Elaine often drove to a nearby convenience store to use a payphone to avoid high charges on the family's bill. On the night of September 20, 1999, Elaine received an upset message from Billy and drove to the store's payphone around 11 p.m. They talked for about an hour, presumably working things out, but after she hung up, something strange happened. Elaine vanished. The area around the payphone was poorly lit and out of the store's surveillance range, leaving little evidence of what happened next. The next morning, when Elaine hadn't come home, her worried parents searched for her. They found her car still parked at the store, but Elaine was nowhere in sight. When her mom, Becky, drove the car back home, a heavy sense of dread settled in. 9 days later, that dread turned to heartbreak when workers found Elaine's body in a wooded area about 17 miles away in Beaufort, Georgia. Though her jewelry was still on her, her clothes were missing, and the medical examiner concluded she had been strangled or smothered. As of 2024, her murder remains unsolved, a painful mystery for a family still longing for justice and closure. Number 4. The case of James Lubin Valdez. The disappearance of Jamie Valdez is a mystery with twists and unanswered questions. Jamie was born on October 25, 1973, and by 2021, he was 47, with a daughter living in Ozark, Arkansas, and a girlfriend, Anna Jenkins, whom he'd recently married after getting clean from meth. Just a month after their wedding, though, things took a dark turn. On June 9, 2021, Jamie and Anna got into an argument about her taking an extra shift at the gas station, which was supposed to be her day off. Some say Jamie was angry about her returning to work that night. Others say it was because Anna had relapsed on drugs. After the fight, Jamie packed some clothes and stormed off, initially saying he'd head to Ozark to see his daughter. He later visited Anna at the gas station asking if he could come home, but she told him to do whatever. He was last seen having dinner with friends in Ozark and said he'd be heading back to Boonville, but he never arrived. Days later, on June 19, his Chevrolet Equinox was found abandoned on a dirt road near Sugar Grove. Strangely, the car was locked, the driver's seat pulled forward, and someone had scratched "Help me, he is near" on the back windshield. Despite investigations, Jamie's case remains unsolved, and as of 2024, his family still seeks answer, desperate to know what happened to him on that fateful day. Number 5. The case of Jerald Hall. The story of Jerry Hall's death is a dark and puzzling one that has haunted Hardy, Arkansas for years. Born in February 1953, Jerry was a 35-year-old father of 2 living in Hardy with his girlfriend in 1988. He was going through a divorce and didn't own a car, so he relied on hitchhiking to get around town. Though he had a bit of a drinking problem, Jerry was well known in the community. But in the fall of the year, he disappeared without a trace. On October 15, 1988, the mystery deepened when deer hunters found Jerry's body face down in the woods off Interstate 44 in Leesburg, Missouri. He had been shot, and his body showed signs of severe trauma, leading investigators to believe he'd met with violence. Over the years, several stories have circulated about what may have happened. As unsolved mysteries intrigue you, help us continue exploring cases that defy explanation. Like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos, and let us know in the comments which cases baffle you the most or any theories you might have. Your insights keep the conversation going.